Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Men's Couch, a show about men's mental health. I'm Alex Hedden, and I'm here joined by...
Riley Langenfeld.
Mateusz Lew, also known as Lew.
Maha.
And yeah, welcome back to today's episode. I was so sorry about yesterday. We decided to cancel an episode, but we are back, full swinging, like Mike Tyson. Maybe not from last week, because Mike Tyson, but anyway... so today we are going to talk about isolation for our topic today. It's very exciting. I don't think we ever talked about isolation on this podcast before, so it's definitely going to be very interesting to talk about. So do you guys, before we start, do you guys have anything related to isolation? Like, have you guys really experienced isolation? Like, what is isolation? Wait, I'm asking a lot of questions. Oh, let's start with the first one. What does isolation mean to you guys? Exactly. Like, what's the definition to you?
Well, I mean, for me, it's like being away from my friends,
Mm-hmm.
stuck in a location for a long time, and just generally being depressed. Because usually you don't want to be isolated.
Yeah, I think isolation is much more on the mental sense. It's not so much like you can be alone, but you could be isolated in a room full of people.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like isolation is like a headspace you're in. Like as Lou said, like you can be in a room full of people, but if you don't feel like connected to people or like you matter, you can still feel isolated. It's less about how many people are around you, but actually who's around you instead.
Yes, I definitely agree. It's a lot of people like when they think of isolation, they probably just think you are alone physically, but also mentally. But it could also just be mentally.
Mm-hmm.
You could be around a group of people, but
And I
you can
think
still...
that's when it's worse. Like,
Yeah.
if you're alone, you feel isolated. That's one thing. But when it's gone so far that you're isolated in a room full of people that you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel like you can talk to anyone, that's when it hits.
Yeah, and that's like I think everyone has been in that sort of situation before, where they're around people, but at the same time they don't feel included.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, I think that's one of the main like possibilities of being isolated, even if you're around a group of people. Yeah.
Dude, it hurts. I think you're right. It hurts way more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like with someone.
It kind of sucks as well when you try to get involved with that group and they just ignore you or something like that.
And there's like nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, it's not, you can
If you call them out, they're just gonna like leave you out of the next hangout.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
That's called what, being petty or something.
Yeah.
I have that exact thing happened to me beginning of last year, freshman. Obviously, you had in this whole group, but I was also having a second friend group, and I was trying to get in, and I was friendly with some people, I was friends with some, but then in the beginning it was fine, and then it was all chit chatting good, but every time I tried to initiate something, or I tried I started overhearing things, like, hey, is there not a group? Like, is there a group chat? And they're saying no. Like, I knew there was. They were just not letting me into it. And like, this was even, we all went to that was homecoming together. I was still just trying, but finally I started pushing, and I was forcing it, and it just, no matter what, I couldn't get in. So we would hang out once in a while, but it just felt like I've overhearing things like, oh my god, like seriously, I remember this one instance. We were in the basement. I was walking out of the meeting room downstairs hanging out with you guys, and they were actually in the movie room. So I was just walking about to go back to my room, whatever, and I said hello, said hi for a little bit, a couple times, how's it going, whatever. And then I started walking back. I was like, okay, bye-bye. Like, bye, see you guys. Oh my god, I swear to God, he pops out of nowhere, and he's just so annoying. Like, bro. Or like you don't have to be that. It doesn't have to be that deep.
Dang.
Yeah, just
He
like,
said that
hey,
out loud?
but yeah, like I overheard it. Like, just say we don't vibe, and that's all. Or like one of the people there in that friend group was talking, he said he was going to shave, but like I complimented him, like, oh, please don't shave it. You have such a nice beard. But then he got annoyed. I'm like, sorry. Like maybe I phrased it a little bit wrong, but like it felt like they were trying to,
Yeah.
get married, and that just hurt so much. Like, and I mean, I started hanging out with you guys even more and more and more, which is good, but it's at the moment still sucks.
It's still like, of course,
Yeah.
like when there's cliques,
Yeah.
and you try to you want to be in that clique or something,
Yeah.
and they don't want you. It sucks. Like I think everyone has been in that situation before. Yeah. Not even just cliques, maybe just there's a certain group or something like that.
It could happen with just one person.
It could happen with
Yeah, like-
anything.
But, yeah.
We're still friendly and everything. We say hi once in a
Yeah.
while, but it's not yeah. Oh well.
It happens, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. What do you think, Riley?
Sorry, I zoned.
Oh, you're good. You're
My
good.
mom was trying to call me, so I was fixing that situation.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
Yeah, no, I think kind of what Lew said. I dealt with that a lot in high school. I was very much a group jumper, just because I would get one group and then I thought they were my friends, and I kind of learned they just wanted me for homework help because I was the smart one in high school. So a lot of the times I would jump and I would try to make new friends, and they as soon as I wouldn't do their homework for them, they wouldn't want me. So I was well known in high school, but was never friends with anyone, well known but not popular, and that definitely can kind of lead to isolation because everyone thinks you have friends, so no one reaches out, but then you're actually not hanging out with anyone outside of school. So maybe in school I'm talking to people, but when I'm outside of school, I didn't hang out with anyone. I was just going home by myself. And
Yeah.
Exact same thing with me.
Mm-hmm.
Exact same thing. I was chill with everyone. I could say hi to everyone. I could eat lunch. I could chit chat with anyone in class. Talk to literally every single person in the school. No one. I had one friend that I still talk to this day, and we didn't hang out much outside of school. That was one friend in 6 years of that school because I moved there 7th grade. By then I had one friend, and we once in a while talk.
Wow.
So yeah, I know
see.
that exact feeling.
Yeah. And not even just friend groups, definitely new environments. That's kind of a good segue because you moved into a new school, right? What do you guys think? Because we have all been. Wait, are you a freshman right now?
I'm a freshman right now.
Okay, so I do want to hear your input on this as well.
Okay.
Since we all were new at college at one point, do you guys think starting college it can be isolating? What was your guys' experiences coming here as a new person?
I think it definitely can be, but I know you and I both joined bands. That was a really good way to feel less isolated because we spent 14 hours a day with a bunch of different people. So even if you didn't vibe with everyone, out of 60, you probably vibed with at least one person. So you came in, and when classes started, you knew people. When you were walking to class, you weren't alone. You'd be hey, whoever, and it just kind of felt like there was at least someone you could turn to. So it made it definitely less isolating compared to coming in with nothing and just kind of starting day one and having to figure it out.
Kind of similar with honors, but to a lesser extent. Just we spent 4 full days together or whatever it was doing. Whether sitting in a classroom, community service, just certain activities. I still say hi to the honors FYSP mentors Andrew Camarasi. Those people, just amazing people, and to this day they're still rocks for me, which is nice. But again, with band, you guys said, it brought. I knew. Oh my God, yeah, having those honors classes, okay, I know those people. I saw those people. That person lives down the hall. That person is in the building over. Having those people, just seeing them as well. Another big thing, the social reset. It all the cliques. Yes, they're obviously the athletes who had, but they were with the first month. It was still so brand new. You hadn't had a lot of people were still scared to join a lot of clubs. So people were figuring out. People were trying new things. So it was almost peaceful. Everyone got along because everyone's in this new place together, and no one knew what they're doing.
Yeah, there's almost no basis for drama at the beginning of, obviously upperclassmen have their stuff, but as freshmen, no one knows anyone enough to start anything. So for the first month, even if you're not super close to anyone, at least you're not too awfully worried about people talking behind your back because you don't know anyone and they don't really know you, and everyone's so worried about surviving. They're not worried about what you're doing, per se.
Yeah, and when you're that new, you're kind of scared to start things. Because
Yeah.
First semester, you don't want to be known as the guy or girl to get in fights with other people. So like, everyone's like super chill.
Yeah.
At least for what I've noticed in my class of 2028.
Oh, just you saying class of 2028.
Makes me feel old.
Oh.
Oh my god.
What classes are you?
27, but with credits.
Oh.
26.
26 with credits.
No, you'll be 27.
Certified
With a
college
master's,
status.
but with
Well,
with master's 27, but
That's
with
crazy.
it was regular. I'm 26. I brought in what 21, 24.
Back in my freshman year, as they say. Yeah, like Maha, I do want to, because I'm curious about you, because you are a freshman. Is there any points where you felt isolated at all, or were you able to get in pretty quickly with like clubs, or like you were able to get friends relatively?
I think I'm a bad person to ask this question because I think generally I was able to like, I was really motivated to find people. I wasn't like introverted off the bat where I just stayed in my dorm for like 16 hours a day. And on top of that, like usually we don't think the school is good at stuff like that, but for some reason a lot of those like first week events that happen, like I went to like almost every single one of them.
Do you guys remember the silent disco?
Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
goodness! Or the
That was so
I did
good.
not go.
what was it?
Oh,
the,
it was-
the game, like the casino
Gambling.
night.
Not gambling.
Casino night.
Casino night. Casino night. Wait.
Oh.
Cops, if you're listening.
Yeah, but that disco night, like most of the people I talked to now I met there, like Sarah, Misaki,
Yeah.
like Royce, Alex, everyone there. I saw them dancing. I'm like, okay, I should probably vibe with them. And like, it was okay to dance and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's like, those events were a lot of times where I made friends.
Yeah.
Like,
Same here.
so they're actually pretty good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to clubs, definitely. That's where I met Riley, and then I think I met
Through Vignovich. I think.
Yes.
That and just the rotunda.
Rotunda in general.
Rotunda,
Yeah.
just different
Good
groups
times there.
coming. and-
Yeah, but definitely, as a sophomore, I'll give advice to freshmen. Definitely join a club. At least one, because that's a good way to, get to know people, and just be able to
Yeah.
interact. Like band for me was honestly probably one of the best decisions for me personally. I was able to meet a bunch of people. I met my roommate. I don't know if you guys know my roommate. His name's Micah. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he runs the show or anything like that.
I don't think I've seen him before. No.
Don't watch this and that guy. Yeah, and we became roommates through that, which is amazing, and we were able to start this whole show. So yeah, definitely recommend when it comes to that. Another thing about isolation, and the reason I kind of wanted to start this episode was, do y'all remember a certain incident in 2020? Like,
Oh my.
I mean, I don't know if y'all remember.
March 13th, 2020, the day everything changed.
Something about
The
the
exact.
bats.
Vietnam flashbacks.
It's our 9/11. Like no joke.
Oh my!
No joke. No
yeah.
joke.
Yeah.
I remember the exact moment, the exact classroom, the exact time where I was when
have
it
a
was
point.
announced
Yes.
in our school. The exact building, exact moment, exact seat in the classroom I was when that was announced.
Mm-hmm.
Everything changed. Everything.
To
Everything changed.
this day, it's
Yeah.
still affected to this day.
Yeah.
You know, what were you guys? I can say my experience first about the COVID and how I went through it. Personally, I didn't do that bad when it comes to online classes. I kind of thrived a little bit. Now, I mean, did I cheat a little? A little, quote unquote.
Use your
yes.
resources.
Yes, that's exactly what I did. That's what I'll say. So I personally, I did okay, but I know a lot of people did not. When it comes to socialization, that's where it affected me the most. Not being able to talk to a lot of people. I was kind of just cramped in my basement a lot. But what about you guys? How did COVID affect you guys when it comes to isolation?
So I got lucky. So my house is right next to my grandparents' house, which is right across the street from my aunt and my great aunt's house. So we kind of almost quarantined in a block because no one had to go anywhere anyways. So I had a little bit more socialization than most people did because we would kind of like bounce from house to house. But also on top of that, like COVID was really good for me, as bad as that sounds. Like, I got up at like 6 a.m. every morning, was doing like sunrise yoga, which is a thing I never would have done when I had to go to school.
Okay.
But like, I could get all my work done super early in the day, and then I was like baking in the afternoon and everything. I personally, as I said, like didn't always have that many friends in high school, so it wasn't that big of a change for me.
Okay.
Because I live in the country, so like I could still go on walks, runs, bike rides. There was no one around. I didn't have to worry about it.
It's funny you mention that because a lot of people use COVID to like be able to enhance their skills and like do activities they'd never done before at their house. And I feel like, and I kind of did the same thing with my drumming. I had a drum set, so I just drummed all day. And it was kind of nice. So I think that could be kind of benefit to it. What do you think, Lou?
For me, it was good, but it was 21. So it was like the latter half of the COVID, but depression started kicking in. But I didn't have many friends. Like, as I said before, same thing with Riley, but online friends.
Yes.
Online friends became like my cousin and like couple, like 3-4 of us. We had like a whole friend group. We used to play video games every day. I would, half pay attention in school. Because for most of school, for my school district, we were every other day. Every other day. And so it was like A through K, L through Z, last names, alpha groups. So the days and then there was like during November, December of 22, we were totally online. But overall, we were in every other day. So it was, having still that social interaction, but I did thrive. I definitely did thrive. This little game called Minecraft.
I was about to say that.
To this day, we had we all have like the 2-day phases, the 2-week phases. We had a 2-year phase.
Yeah.
That's
It was insane. We did everything. So that game, we all play different games, but that is something we could all bond over. That is something we could just chill, mess around, do whatever. And to this day, like most of those friends I don't talk to anymore because we just went our separate ways. Everyone moved around because most of them were from Moon. Because my cousin used to live in Moon.
Oh.
A lot of my other friends were in Moon. One was actually in Seneca Valley, which I forget his name, but he's a year older than us. One went to Beaver, but they all moved. We all moved around, and I'm gonna see my cousin for the first time in a year and a half for Thanksgiving. But we still talk. But going back to the point, it brought us together, and my competitive video games also brought out something in me. I didn't have that social interaction between people. You couldn't play many sports. Like, we had to wear masks half the time for volleyball and whatever. But and it was rough. People. I'm sure a couple people passed out. But just having that competitive outlet also helped with the nerves, with the stress, with the anxiety, getting that energy out.
Yeah.
So.
That's good. Yeah. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. What do you think?
Honestly, I feel the same way. I did a lot of the same things that Lou did, dude. I would like join the Zoom calls and then mute my mic, turn off my camera, and then just like hop like straight on like a 4 or 5 hour Discord call.
So jealous.
Yeah. What?
We were required to have our cameras and mics on in school.
Depends on the class for me.
All of ours were required.
Yeah,
it.
same
That's
for
crazy.
depends on the
I had
class.
one class that required it, so I would just I would turn it so they could just see my forehead.
We'd have a whole face in it, or you were marked absent.
Oh, brother.
Yep.
Imagine it was like an inch off. Like,
Just an inch off. They would just see my
You're
big
done.
ass forehead. Or what I would do, I would point at my face, but I had like a giant window in the back, so it would the light would just like forecast over me, and I would look like a shadow,
Hello there.
just fully black.
Actually, random tangent on that part. There's like this Shark Tank episode where this guy, he like invented this like Zoom call hack where you could record yourself, like it looks like you're focusing, right? But in reality, you're not. Like, it's like a loop thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So where like it looks like you're
like.
like Lou, like imagine you and me, we're on like a Zoom call, right? And it looks like I'm paying attention to what you're saying.
And I'm like, whatever, just
yeah.
little movements.
Yeah, exactly. But in reality, I'm not doing it. I'm just like sleeping or something.
oh
like
my
that.
That's
God.
insane.
He didn't win the Shark Tank thing.
Or like you didn't get investment.
No, he didn't investment at all.
I wonder why.
It's a gimmick. It was
Yeah.
a gimmick.
It was too useful.
Yeah.
It was
Too useful. I mean, who knows? Maybe he made bank, but
Dude,
I mean, I haven't heard of him, so probably
Yeah.
not.
it was bad though, being isolated, like just being on being online for 12 hours a day.
oh yeah.
Big toll on the mental and like social. Where online friends, all my friends were from like abroad. A lot of them from like Europe, Canada. I had like no friends like in my school or anything. So what was that, like 7? Not 7th grade, like 9, 10, and no, it was 9 and 10. COVID hit, right? 9 and 10.
End of 9, so it
So
would
it
be
would've
end
been
of
end of
8
eighth
for
for
you.
you.
So it'd be 9 and 10. For us, it was 10 and 11.
Oh man, you make me feel even older.
Yeah, because when COVID hit, I was what, 14?
Yeah, we were freshmen in high school.
Yeah, I was like 14.
Yeah, you would have been 8th grade when it hit.
End of middle school.
I can feel the wrinkles on my face.
I
And you gotta
remember
get
it
some
too. though.
moisturizing
Guys.
cream for that.
Probably.
COVID was 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Correct.
dude.
No, like Lou, like what you said. I mean, I don't want to say it was our 9/11, but
It was. It was 9/11.
It was
it's
psychologically our 9/11.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Psychologically.
Because I do also remember where I was.
Challenger, JFK, World War One, World War Two. Those Pearl Harbor,
where
JFK,
it changed our life.
Challenger.
Stock market
Those,
crash.
yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking
So-
of random historical.
Yeah. Like, but those were
Yeah.
like people say JFK, Challenger. Those two were like our parents and our grandparents. That was when everyone knew where they were.
Yeah. No, I mean, no. That
At the
you are right. That is a solid point.
It's that type of.
Because it changed the way the future.
Everyone remembers.
Yeah.
Everyone. That
It's in
was
my grandma's kitchen.
Wait, were you baking?
I don't think so. I think I was helping with dinner because my mom was out with my dad with their friends, and I called her and she's like, "What do you need?" And I'm like, "School got shut down." She's like, "No, you're not," because she hadn't been on her phone.
Oh.
And she's also a teacher, so she would have gotten the same message because our whole like region shut down at the same time.
Oh.
So I called her and she's like, "No, it didn't. Like it's fine. Like you're fine." And I had actually missed. It was a half day that day for my school, and I didn't go in. And so I left all of my books. So I didn't have any homework for the weekend. I think my Chromebook was there, like everything. Like I had nothing. My aunt had to sneak in. Luckily, she worked at my school to get all my stuff so I could start online classes because I was not prepared for it.
Funny thing with
Fair
that.
enough.
I just checked out a book about World War One. I was just wanted to read. World War One nerd. Just checked out a book. It was like, and everyone said, "Oh, it's gonna be 2 weeks." Like, okay, I'll
That's
read
what
the book.
yeah, everyone
And then
knows
I was
2
like,
weeks, right?
2 weeks, 6 weeks. Oh, fuck.
They just kept extending it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you still have the book, or did it get returned eventually?
I will remember because we were every other day.
Okay.
So eventually. I
Wait, you were
didn't.
every other day right in the beginning?
No, the end of the spring semester, end of spring, so end of 9th grade. It was
Okay.
sitting in that locker all through spring, all through summer. Finally,
Yeah.
yeah.
They cleared our lockers. They did a thing where they put everything in plastic bags for like sprayed them down with like bleach spray, and then you came and got them, and you got made custom cookies for everyone in my school because there's only 60 of us a grade. So
I
everyone
want
got
food in school? What? That's not from the cafeteria?
Yeah, when we picked up our bags, there was a custom cookie with your name on it.
Our school.
That's cool.
Dude.
I don't know what our
High
school
school
was
that actually
so
cares
strict.
about you?
Yeah.
What?
I
They
want a
give you
cookie
food.
with my name on it.
Our school was
Sorry,
so
Hannah.
strict with food. There were.
We had a
so-
baker who did all of our stuff like professionally. That was approved.
Okay, at
That's
least that.
crazy.
No, like our school, like if most teachers didn't, like there were a couple of teachers that didn't care, but like you brought food into a classroom, you started taking something out of your lunchbox, they're like, no, because, and I understand if it's allergen, but like you can't, like, you're not 12, you're not 10 that you're gonna lick the desk
Yeah.
and get a food allergy. Like there's a difference. That's why like a lot of the junior senior teachers they didn't care.
They
But
were
still,
scared.
What?
None of our teachers cared. We
Yeah.
could bring in whatever. People would bring in like snacks for the whole class.
Oh no.
That's
We'd
nice.
have parties all the time. People would bring in different things.
Tonight we're gonna party
Dude.
like it's
Or like the teachers specifically were not allowed to give out food. So,
What?
like teachers
Like
specific.
even
That was a
packaged
big.
snacks?
No, like dum dums.
Our teachers had one of my teachers had a closet that if you were hungry, you could go get whatever you
No.
wanted.
What?
No,
That's
like
Multiple of my teachers, you would just go and they'd have
What
like
high school did you
closet-
go to? This
I'm
sounds like a
from-
dream. Like
I'm from New York. I'm in the middle of
Ah.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like,
I was bearing the lead, guys.
Pennsylvania.
Sorry.
That don't
Pennsylvania
happen
schools.
here.
No, not Pennsylvania.
not Pennsylvania.
Not
but-
PA.
Pennsylvania has some of the best schools. It's still,
Yeah.
compared to the rest of the country, we have really good schools.
bro.
Go look at Florida. Go look
Yeah.
at Texas.
What do you guys think about the wearing the masks and then like the people that like don't put it?
So what you
under
think of
the
that?
nose.
Yeah.
Mm,
Oh, yeah, the people who did.
I have
Under
a
the-
story about that.
Oh,
I got a
Riley?
teacher fired because of it.
Huh?
We had a teacher who was already under
Damn.
investigation for sexual harassment of students. And he told all of us we weren't allowed to wear masks in his classroom during my sophomore year. And that he was going to bring in food for all of us. And we didn't eat it. He was going to take points off because he didn't believe in COVID. So I went up to the council, went up to my principal's office, knocked on the door, told the story, told him what happened. He basically got fired because he was already under
Review.
for other things. But it was like the straw that broke the camel's back because of the mask stuff. So then he was gone and he worked at Lowe's full time afterwards. With one of my other teachers who also
Wow.
got fired during
That's,
COVID.
that's where my mom works.
Is that where
I
the
worked there this
higher
summer.
teachers go low?
I'm about to work there this summer.
Where you live? Where you at?
Carnegie, the Heidelberg Lowe's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the other side of the city?
That's-
Outside.
Is that the other side of the city from where you live?
Yeah, Carnegie. That's where I went for. We drive through Carnegie.
Okay.
Oh.
I
To
know
get to
where
the
you
city.
live.
Okay.
Carnegie?
So
Interesting.
I went to Pine Ridge. What school did you go to?
Carlinton.
I don't know.
It's like
That area.
it's like near Crafton, yeah.
Okay, Craft. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to Pine Ridge, so
And then my elementary was the Carnegie Elementary,
okay.
which you
yeah.
probably drive
think-
past.
yeah, I've heard of
you drive
Carnegie.
through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like next to the
Yeah.
next to 376.
That's cool. You drive through it.
I mean, if we go to, I was just trying to tell her where
Oh,
it is,
yeah.
because I live on campus, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Speaking of the mask
Good setting.
thing, like, it's a very interesting discussion because, like, depends on who you ask. Like, they either like are full committed to the mask, or they cheat, or they just
Yeah.
don't have it at all.
Yeah.
Like I had like one of those bandanas,
Oh,
me personally, because I
Cheater.
yeah, that's right.
Cheater.
Little bad.
I
boy
looked
over here.
cool. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. But
I just can imagine little like ninth grade Hennon walking around with his bandana.
Oh my
on,
God,
thinking
they
he's, like,
gave
the
us-
coolest
they
shit
gave
one of
out
the
there.
Bloods.
They gave us masks at school. They would give out curriculum, but I think at one point they gave everyone masks. I think some club made it. Got a piece of cloth and cut just one singular cloth.
I'm sure that was so helpful.
It was so helpful.
Wait, cloth. So
Just a piece of cloth. Yeah, it's a face cover because it was face covering.
Oh.
That was the rule.
I actually worked in a nursing home during COVID, so we were really strict. Like we had like the like the full face shield and N95.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Full PPE, like
Really?
everything. Yeah,
like a hazmat suit.
pretty much.
I remember when there was like a shortage for N95 masks, and they're like $60 a box or something.
Yeah,
or, like
we would use
$100
the same
or
one for like 3 months.
You want to know strict? Let me tell you about international travel during COVID.
Oh,
Because I'm from Poland, and we went 20. It was not 2020, obviously. We didn't go, but 2021, I went back to Poland for 3 weeks just to visit my grandparents, visit my mom's parents, and that's where I was born. So my hometown. So we flew through Germany, Lufthansa. We flew. You had to obviously get a COVID test like 2-3 weeks max before you left. You had, and when you go, like, and you could tell, we went United Airlines to, I think, what was it, New York City or something, JFK. They were like, any face covering, whatever, and they didn't care. They cared, but they were not that strict. You step on that Lufthansa German airline flight, has to be at least the disposable surgical, if not N90, if not better.
Wow.
Yeah, can't. So my mom specifically bought us the N95 because they're a little more comfortable, better, but they're much stricter. What was actually terrifying was coming back, because we had to take a test 3 days before we left, and if we failed, like
Oh.
if a false positive, what are we gonna do? Like, our
Oh wow.
It was a false
1,100,
positive.
11. No, it wasn't. Thank God. But like, if what it like $1,100 ticket gone. We can like
Dang.
No refund or
no,
anything.
no.
And
It
only
was
3
just ter-
days?
Yeah.
It was yeah.
3
'Cause I had to
days.
get tested in Amsterdam. We went on a cruise to Norway. I think it was like early 2022. But they required you to test only 3 days before. So we were already in Amsterdam and we had to find a place to test.
Mhm.
And their testing was super strict. But like, we didn't speak the language. So,
I mean, yeah, it's another.
but they spoke, like all the signage and all the contracts you
was-
signed weren't in English.
They
Oh,
didn't have
shoot.
it. They have to. I would think they have to provide
They did.
translation.
Yes and no, because it was a private company who tested
Mm.
us.
Sign your-
Yeah, so we went to like the urgent, not the urgent care, just the regular testing centers funded
Yeah.
by the government, thankfully.
Makes
You
sense.
like signed your life away
Might have.
secretly. Like,
Might have,
oh no.
So did you just sign it, or did you?
It was signing it basically saying, my dad like partially Google Translate, saying like
Okay.
they have the right to test us
Okay.
and share results with whoever, like the government. I think,
Yeah, the
with all
government.
tracking.
The travel agency.
All right.
Yeah, international travel's rough.
Yeah.
We got away, thankfully, but like one false positive and you're
Yeah.
ruined. Like it was terrifying.
It's like my experience. Like I don't think I went out of state during the whole thing, but I did my marching band in my high school.
Mhm.
We were supposed to go to Disney for a band trip,
Yeah.
but it got canceled. My family decided to go to Disney anyway. And we decided to go anyway, and it was like Disney's usually crowded.
It was so
Yeah, it was dead.
It was creepy.
Look, like we went to the river
The
river area. Yes,
Riviera, yeah.
that's one of our personal favorites.
That's an expensive hotel. My family don't go there.
It's nice.
It's nice.
Yeah, there was no one there. It was crazy. So, it was a little isolating there, but as well. But I think, cause the more I think about it, the more I did kind of thrive during COVID times, cause I think it was able to get my family and I together closer. Cause I mean, literally, we were in the same house. But Nala,
parents.
No family closeness there.
No family closeness. We only got further apart because they were like COVID's just the flu.
Oh, yep.
They were like
That's not spread.
Thanksgiving. Yeah, still had regular Thanksgiving, 30 people and no and mass. I just didn't have the energy to deal with it, so I just shut my mouth. But whatever. Just concept. Yeah, my stepdad's the type of person to yell at the TV.
Oh.
He's
Oh,
the one that thinks
no.
Fox News is too far left. Fox News.
Mm.
I'm like, you can believe what you want, but like,
Oh,
I think you
no.
actually bring up a really good point because I have not my family, but my neighbors are very similar to Lew's family, and I remember her being like, "My body, my choice," referring to mass,
Oh.
but then said Fox News was also too far left with like abortion, and I'm like, you don't get my body, my choice for both of them.
Yeah.
Like you get what like you have one. Either the government can say what they want to say about your body. Or
Okay.
you don't get you can't say my body, my choice is wrong for abortion, but not for face masks.
yeah,
Like
it's
Yeah.
they were very hypocritical, and it was very interesting.
it's
Picking and choosing where.
Yeah.
it was
where you
just
want it.
such a just such a
It
tense time.
It didn't need to be government politically charged.
No, it didn't. Like in Europe,
Mhm.
like left wing, right wing doesn't matter. Everyone realized, shut your mouth, stay at home. We don't want to die.
And I think that very much we can almost blame the government for. Like there
The
was,
slow, very
but
slow.
also them choosing to politicize it.
Yeah,
Like
American politics.
it probably wouldn't have been politicized as much if it hadn't been an election year.
That's true.
And I think that's what killed us.
Oh, it was, right?
It wasn't
2020,
being an election
2020.
year that I think both candidates took sides on COVID-19 instead of just coming together and be like, yes, we should still have debates to decide who's going to be president, but COVID-19's off the table. Like, you do what's best for the country, not what's best for your views. And I think that's kind of where it got messed up really bad.
Mm.
Which I think also isolated people, kind of bringing it back to the main topic
Yeah, back to the main topic of,
Yeah.
of isolation.
Even with-
Isolation was very much that, like, if your views didn't align with people during COVID, I think it ruined a lot of friendships, a lot of families, like you
Yeah.
said, because it really showed who people were and people really broke apart and like didn't trust each other anymore, which caused even
It
more
just
isolation.
sped up the, social media is, has been proven to, the echo chamber effect and everything, but that it just made things go so much faster.
Mm-hmm.
So
I feel like most of my days were like the same. I follow the same routine. I wake up at the same time, go to sleep at the same time, be on my computer for 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
It was like a 9 to 5 job.
yeah.
So like,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
so 2
Set a
years
desk
flew
all day.
by. It felt like 3 months passed.
Mm-hmm.
See,
I don't know about you guys.
as an autistic person, I loved it. I loved the routine. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Just
Honestly,
I
though,
loved it.
The stability.
I'm a really schedule oriented person.
Yeah.
So I guess COVID definitely made me stick to a schedule of that caliber. Yeah, it's interesting.
Don't you feel like you were just like always in a like safe comfort zone?
Exactly.
I felt really safe and just
Uh-huh.
like, I could do.
I mean, when you're in your own house,
This is
it's
my
like
room,
your
my
room.
corner.
There's
Yeah.
no challenge. The AC is like perfectly at 67 degrees.
Exactly.
It's like,
So warm.
Well, 60. You think 67's warm?
At least in Yorktown, it is.
Oh, fair point.
In Yorktown, it's warm.
I've heard the legends of the Yorktown.
It's great. Just you got to keep the AC at like 62 to not sweat to death.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my
Fun.
roommate always like here it's like 60 always 24/7.
Correct. That is the correct.
Yeah.
Wait, what's up to watch?
They don't go down to 50.
mine stops at 60.
Yeah, same here.
Damn. I don't even know what mine does at this point.
Is Mike in charge of your AC, Hennon?
More like Briar.
Like my
Oh, I
neighbor.
forget you're in a triple.
Oh, yeah. I'm in a triple, y'all. It's
I
built
guess
different.
you're
Poly.
never isolated.
No.
You're never
Yeah.
isolated.
It's like Briar is usually he's on his computer gaming or Mike is sleeping. It's one of the two.
Yeah, him sleeping at like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Mike will probably be
Yeah.
asleep by the time we get back.
PM, by the
Probably.
way, not AM. Like
Oh,
normally,
yes.
AM
Hold
is
up.
normal.
PM.
Let's clarify this.
PM.
Yes.
PM, not the same.
So I guess on that end, if you guys are isolated, how do you guys, maybe not prevent, I guess, feel better, or how do you
Cope.
cope?
Cope.
How do you cope with isolation?
Not to be the one, but do you mean physically or mentally?
I would say both.
Okay.
Either way.
I don't have an answer right now, so someone else wants to answer.
I mean,
I personally like calling or texting someone.
oh yeah.
You know, I have a contact list of all like people who are all close to me, and I'll either call or text one of those numbers.
Dude, I feel like during that time, I think like Discord got so popular.
I think that was the rise of it.
Right?
That was the rise.
Everyone's
and
at home.
And now you have like Slack, which is
Yeah.
just
Slack.
professional
Oh, yeah.
Discord.
Professional
And Discord, but like Discord's still better. But
Yeah.
still.
Or-
do you know what's
What do you
speaking
think?
of-
Teams? Remember Teams?
Wait,
Yeah.
That's
That's great.
I have not
Yeah.
used it. I heard that's what.
Because that's what my school used.
Oh, we
Okay.
used we used
You know.
Yeah.
we didn't use
just
group
used
chat.
email.
That's what my
We
dad's
Snap.
workplace
Either
used.
Snapchat.
Yeah.
What? Wait, back up. What?
Snapchat group chats?
Your school used that?
No, we don't. We didn't have like
Oh, you
group
just
chat.
mean like if you were doing group projects?
Yeah,
in
group
school, that's what
projects,
you
but
use.
like-
Oh no, yeah. I mean, yes, that's what we use. I'm talking like during COVID times. Did you guys use
email,
Teams?
just email.
Or-
Email.
Just email. That's
How did
it.
you guys use the FaceTime thing? Or did you guys use-
Google
Zoom.
Google Meet.
Google Meet.
Meet.
Google
Oh,
Meet.
that's what we
Google
used.
Meet, or our school actually used Blackboard, so Blackboard had a.
Oh.
So, it was,
So you had
it was-
experience with Blackboard
yeah,
before? Oh,
the-
cool.
the new Blackboard. Oh my god, I hate Black Ultra
Love the
is
new Blackboard.
horrific. I am an officer for a club, and I'm that's one of the things I do. Just maintain the Blackboard. It's so awful.
Poor Hennon did not get his
awful.
question answered at all.
What was your question? Oh.
How do you cope with isolation?
Okay, yeah.
I'm ready now.
Okay,
Unless you want to.
one last tangent. We're talking about how Discord made a meteoric rise.
Yeah.
You guys remember Skype?
I was just about to say that. Oh my
Skype.
god.
Sure,
Skype.
that's so
I actually
well,
have
you did
Skype
it.
on my computer, and I forget I have it, so it like pops up sometimes.
They had a 10-year lead. They blew it.
The ringtone is like stuck in my mind, you know.
Oh my
Used-
god.
Yeah. Skype. I remember Skyping my cousins when they'd go to China for 3 months for their dad's work,
Uh-huh.
and I was ready for it to be a COVID thing, and it just wasn't.
No, Zoom came out of nowhere. Also, House Party.
What?
House party.
That
Wait! Oh my god!
you know what I'm talking about.
Oh!
It was effective. It was effectively
Yes!
just a Snapchat, but only
Oh!
groups.
We lost Hennon.
It was group video call.
Ludus hit me with a Vietnam.
That's what
not
we used
Vietnam,
for
but, like,
scoop.
the flashbacks.
Group me.
far does Mike go?
It goes pretty far.
House party. You
Yeah.
Like,
And then-
like, is it still picking? That's
You can hear me.
weird.
Yep.
guys have Remind?
Yes.
Oh, that
Oh,
hurt.
I hated that.
Remind
Past
was on
JoJo?
teachers
Hated
talking
that.
to us only. That
Yes.
was, Remind was one way, not two way. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, remind was 2-way.
For all our
Well,
teachers only used it
I
one
can't
way.
help if you're.
Yeah,
it was
Well,
like-
group me was used for two way.
I would get like the text messages from Remind like
Uh-huh.
straight to SMS.
Oh,
yeah.
I just had
That's
the
awesome.
notification. Yeah, but like, yeah, this is Okay, back to
Back-
the topic
back-
at hand.
That's the question.
Okay.
Coping with isolation.
Coping
How would you do
isolation.
it?
Well, I was gonna say like physically, my apartment had a gym, so
Oh.
I did get like pretty fit from that, following the same routine over and over
Mm-hmm.
again. You kind of just got in the hang of it, you know. I don't know about you guys, like physically, what you guys
Are you talking about now or during COVID?
doing?
This
could
question
do
is
both.
mostly just in general.
In
Okay.
general,
Of
okay,
violence.
because
So-
it's very different.
I think physically for me, like, I don't mind being physically isolated. Like, obviously, I don't prefer it, but like, I live in a single, so like, if we shut the door, I'm
We have conjoined.
so we have
Conjoined
conjoined
singles.
singles, which would be important context too. Like sometimes, like after a long day at work, or like school, I guess, or like whatever, I just want to like go on my phone and like read a book or
Yeah, because
scroll.
you're mentally drained, right?
So like I don't mind being alone.
you're close.
Emotionally, I definitely go bug this one a lot. As you can't see her pointing at Lew. I'm a big cuddler. Like I just want to sleep. Like take a nap on
Yeah.
this one, hug this one, whatever. Like just kind of get my mind. If I'm alone, like if I'm back home, like definitely like calling or reading usually helps get my mind off it. Kind of put myself in a different world if I'm reading a book. It's really useful, but that's I'm not that exciting in my coping mechanism.
No. For me, like I said, back during COVID, like I said, it was just hop on the Xbox Live Party. That's what it was.
Ooh, on
that's
the shit.
that's what it was. That's like someone's always. It's like kind of the rotunda for us. There was always someone on.
Yeah,
Always.
Always there.
Always there. No, whoever it is, always there. So
Always there.
nowadays, physical. Do you know what's actually underrated? At least last year before we were dating, go down to the basement and people watch. Just seriously, just
That's valid.
scroll on your phone. Maybe go play a game of pool with some random people. Just exist. Just go to the basement, just make some new friends
Yeah.
or just acquaintances. Or just
Yeah.
people watch. It was
Yep, that's fair.
Yeah.
I did that too. Like here, I met a lot. Like two of my new best friends, I met them from like asking them to play ping pong with me.
Yeah.
That's probably the best thing you could do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I met some of the basketball players. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Hey.
So the one
So-
from North Macedonia. Like, yeah, I played some pool with him.
Ooh, that's good.
That was cool.
Yeah. Honestly, the basement, when I feel isolated, I sometimes go down there, you know, see who's down there. Just whole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it's interesting because of how because I even asked Micah about this beforehand. Because he's more introverted while I am more extroverted. So introverts and extroverts, the way that they interact with each other is different, and how they deal with isolation is different. Because I'm more of an extrovert, I guess I'm more of an extrovert, so I like to talk to people more than being alone. So if I do feel lonely, I'll go see if I can talk to somebody.
Yeah.
However, with introverts, I know that of course, like they still talk to people, obviously, but they just don't like social interaction as much.
I think the big difference as an introvert, when you recharge, I need to go play some video games on my own. I need to go take a nap. I need to scroll on my phone, turn my brain off, doom scroll, whatever. Whereas you go talk to someone. You go to the rotunda and just chill. You go to the
Exactly.
basement and meet someone new. So like when I was saying I would go down to the basement, that would tire me out, but I'd still want it. So a lot of people don't understand is like introversion. I still want to interact with. I love interacting with people. I bug with someone all the time, but sometimes I just want to, all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Turn my brain off. Just scroll on my phone, rot in bed, not say a word, and that's it. Yeah, exactly. And
Like, I think people get the wrong message when it comes to introverts. Like, I think a lot of people. My mic is shut.
Oh no, not the mic, Hannah.
Oh, intermission.
Hang on, guys. Whoa. I'm alive.
back.
Okay.
You're good.
We're
We're
good. I think a lot of people get the wrong idea when it comes to introverts.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, back like when I was younger, I thought introverts like, oh, they just don't talk to anybody,
Yeah.
like ever. But no, like Micah, he's introvert, but he's like, sometimes I thought he was.
yeah.
I thought he was extrovert.
No,
Yeah,
he's,
me too.
He's
I
an introvert.
thought-
Like,
When his battery's down, he's out.
That's
Like,
fair.
Yeah.
I mean, the sleep. Like sleep is like that's a big coping mechanism, especially for me. Just
Yeah.
doing nothing. Like You know, when people say, "Oh, what are you doing at this point?" Nothing. I mean, nothing. Rotting in bed, rotting on my chair, playing God knows whatever game.
Don't try to talk to this one when they're rotting. You will maybe get 2-word answers.
Yeah, more like grunts or just.
I'm like, what do you mean? I think that was definitely, like, for me, like, a learning point with us being, I'm an ambivert, they're an introvert. Like, people have different coping styles, and learning that it's okay.
It's okay.
And learning that, like, people are going to ask for help in different ways. Like, especially, like, with isolation, I think a lot of people, like, don't realize it's okay to ask for help. Like, and it can be scary to be, like, even if you tell someone, like, in a group, like, that you're close with, like, hey, I know we're all together, but, like, my brain is not being nice right now. Like, I feel really isolated. Can you, like, I need some one-on-one, like, I need some motivation. I think that's something that can be really hard for, especially, I know, like, not to, like, stereotype, but with guys, a lot of times they feel like they have to be really, really strong. And I think that was something that, like, Hannah's getting excited. I couldn't even finish my sentence. Like,
Bring
and I
out
know,
to
like,
men's couch.
and I know for,
Men's
like, us being in a relationship, like, it takes a lot of work talking with you, being like, hey, like, you can come to me, like, if I'm struggling, like, you can also struggle, like,
Literally
we've had
just
this
last
conversation.
night.
Yeah.
Literally just last night.
You're
I
both
was
struggling.
like,
And, like,
yeah.
kind of, like, definitely for guys, like, you got to reassure them. And even girls a lot of times, too, like, hey, it's okay to struggle. Like, you can talk to me. Like, if you think someone looks, like, not that you want to assume how people are feeling, but if someone looks like they're maybe out of it, even in a group, saying, like, not interacting, like, checking in, being like, hey, is there something you need? Hey, do you need to take a walk for a few minutes? Because even if you're a big group and you feel isolated, you can sometimes feel less isolated going one-on-one with someone to talk for a few minutes. And just doing the checking in, being the observant one, being like, hey, you okay? You good? What can I do? Like, and if they say they're fine, then there's only so much you can do. But definitely making sure you're still there and checking in.
Oh, Riley, thank you. That was that. Honestly, like that. Yes, because both guys and girls, especially, it's just everyone has different ways of coping. But definitely overall, on the I'll say from the guy side, like we've discussed this many times on the show, the stereotype of every man, you know, they need to be strong at all times. When the reality that shouldn't be the case, you know. And it's definitely recently I feel like that's been more like put a line on, which is nice. So I'm really happy you said that. Like I wish there was a camera on because like I popped out the moment Riley said that.
Kendra was so excited.
There is.
Oh.
There is. Yeah.
Well, this one's kind of dead.
Yeah.
Like we should get cameras in here.
We should. We can set these up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think definitely kind of feeding off that, like, the idea that, like, society is pushing this idea that, like, oh, guys should be strong. But, like, from a woman's point of view, trust me, we don't want the strong guy who never asks. Like,
Oh God.
we want people who are emotionally available and checking in. Like, we prefer as a girl not to be dating someone who's stone-faced all the time. Like, or even with friends, like, if I have guy friends, I prefer them to feel like they can come for me for help than feeling like they're not comfortable with me. So I think that's something that, like, society pushes a lot, that, oh, girls don't want it, but I think we've got to roll it back and be like, hey, like, looking now at the narrative, like, guys should ask for help. Like, we're here to help. We're not here to judge, I promise.
And what's the difficult part is I consider myself non-binary. I hated the guy stereotypes. I hated being man up. I hated all of it. I hated all of it. And I've worked on that part for so long, and I have been a big advocate of that. But still to this day, it's the subconscious. It's the defense mechanisms. It's the maybe taking one step less of being vulnerable rather than all the way in. It's you, even if you want to, even if you want to be vulnerable, even if you want to open up, you don't. It takes so much work. Like, I think it was literally last night. It
took me 30 minutes of crying just to get you
Yeah.
to tell me that you weren't just tired. And, like,
yeah.
I'm like, I promise it's okay. Like, talk to me. Like, I'm here. Like, I'm not going to judge. But I was struggling, so they felt like they couldn't also open up because they felt they had to be strong for
Like
me.
with
And
guys,
that's definitely kind of
being-
like a learning point of we can both struggle and it's okay.
Being, guys, being the protector, your value is what you can provide. Your value is being, the one that shields.
I still kind of think
Protect.
that way a little bit.
And yet, like, I still do, and like I'm working on it. And like, there's nothing wrong about being strong, but like, too much and like just not. like during COVID especially, I would have my monthly mental breakdown because of this, because I didn't have anyone. Like, and with guys like I had the Xbox party to jump in. It was never we had like deeper political conversations, but conversations like this, God no. Why would you ever have this type of conversation in an Xbox party? Especially, we were still teenagers, but we're still young. We're still just getting into being able to talk about these types of things. We're just beginning as us still being young college kids.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's still so ingrained. It's still second nature for many of us.
Dang.
I feel like those the same people that like can have those conversations are the same people that think that like therapy's for the weak, like stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that goes hand in hand.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is kind of sad.
Yeah. Because I'm like one of those people like therapy is good for you, and I've never done therapy, but I want to though. I really want to, and I highly encourage everyone to do it because it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just rough because American healthcare system.
Oh, that's true.
A lot of people can't because it's so
Yeah.
$100 a session.
Dude, and even online, like BetterHelp.
Oh, BetterHelp has been proven that it's like a scam.
It's like
so expensive.
$8.8 million class action lawsuit or something like that. I saw recently.
Is that why they just offered me free months of BetterHelp?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Do not. It's like those are not qualified. I think it was like they're not. Let me look it up. Actually,
I was gonna pay, but then like they gave me a quota of like $88 a week.
Yeah.
So
It's just
over the month, that's like
$320.
like almost $90 a week. Yeah.
Which is like I think another thing is that idea of like what you said, therapy's for the weak, but at the same time, like that kind of builds up that idea of crying is weak, asking for help is weak. But I think a lot of those things are strengths. Like being able to look in on yourself and be like, I need help.
Yeah.
That's not easy to do. Whether it's mental health with school, whatever, like being that intuitive with how you're feeling and being like, yes, I need help is something to be proud of, that you're like, you can figure that out. But just being like, oh, I need to hide it. Like, oh, I'm fine. Like, if anything, yes, it's a coping mechanism to kind of hide it, but at the same time, that could be seen as a weakness even more because you're not tuning into yourself.
Yeah.
Here's by the Federal Trade Commission.
Yeah. All right.
The FTC, the Federal Trade Commission. FTC says online counseling service BetterHelp pushed people into handing over health information and broke its privacy promises. Include a proposed FTC settlement with BetterHelp includes $7.8 million to partial refunds for BetterHelp customers and conveys an unmistakable message about just how seriously the FTC takes this kind of betrayal of trust. Example, BetterHelp online. So
they broke HIPAA is what I'm
They
hearing.
broke HIPAA.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
They broke HIPAA.
We don't break HIPAA.
Interesting.
Visitors to the site were told at the outset that the company collected general anonymous background information about you and the issues you'd like to deal with online therapy, so the person can be matched with the most suitable therapist. Although the exact wording changed over time, the company assured people, aside from a few narrow uses related to providing online counseling service, their private information would remain private. Despite promises, FCC says BetterHelp used a variety of tech to share the health information of over 7 million consumers with platforms like Facebook, Snapchat, Criterio, and Pinterest for the purpose of advertising.
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
So basically,
Yeah,
don't.
Not
it's
legal.
Facebook. What was it, 2017 or whatever?
I see their
Actually-
ads all the time.
It's actually what's crazy is we've always talked about therapy on this show, but we never really said where to go. Do you guys have
Yeah.
any recommendations for that?
Where I go is psychotherapy.org.
Okay.
Just that is, I go to one. They're online. At least with my insurance, $20 a session, $25 a session with my insurance, and it's still, not maybe 50 with average insurance. Very good resource, very local. They have an office in person in Cranberry, so they're very local. That is one I recommend. I do use. It's quite decent.
No campus has therapists. I don't know if
I was just about to say that.
they're not for say like the best, and it's hard to get in sometimes just because they're busy. So you might only see them every like 2 weeks, but they're an option if it's an emergency. Also, there's a lot of crisis lines. Like I know there's 988 for like suicide stuff, but then also like for LGBTQ, there's the Trevor Project, and there's a lot of other ones for other specific like groups. Typically like groups that are like minority groups that like have specific resources for specific groups out there that isn't like daily, like weekly therapy, but like quite crisis therapy if you're in an emergency and just like you need someone now.
Okay.
I've been actually going to like I've gone about 3 sessions of the one on campus, and it's like free of charge.
Yeah.
As long as you have your own insurance. I have UPMC,
Yeah.
and that like I haven't had to pay a single dollar yet.
I think it's free even
That's
without
fantastic.
insurance. I want to say.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
free for everyone, I think, because if you're not insured privately, then like the school
You,
gives
you
the
have to
insurance, so
get
I think it's free for
Same thing with like the campus.
And they're like all
doctor's office.
qualified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All qualified like
Mhm.
psychiatrists, therapists.
That's good.
So if anyone like here need like if you're listening to this right now and you need that stuff, they just said where you can go, even if you're an RMU student, correct?
Just the counselor's office.
Yep.
And even if you're not an RMU student, a lot of other colleges and even high schools have places as well. Obviously, we don't know those because we go to RMU, but
Yeah.
most colleges have some option like that.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure every RMU student, they should be able to get
Yeah.
free.
Yeah, they can.
Even if you're not on campus.
Free
Yep.
consulting.
Even commuters, yes.
Yep.
Yes. So look, yeah, if you're an RMU student like that, if you're not, there's options out there.
Yeah.
I definitely specify there's options out there for you guys. Yeah. Well, anyone else got any?
What's the time at right now?
We are at 55.
Ooh,
5 minutes.
This is a good conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
It's good. I think that was a good way. I think it's a good way to wrap it up. Yeah.
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 So yeah. Overall, isolation, it can be very isolating,
yeah.
obviously. But I think there are depending. Of course, it depends on who you are. Obviously, in your overall lifestyle, I just think that there are ways to get around that, in that because I'm losing my head right there. There are people around for you, no matter what. For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else have any final thoughts before we head out?
Hennon, we didn't get a bad joke like you promised me.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta think some later. Oh, before we go, Maha. So our friend Olin, he's been on the cast for for quite a long time actually, and he actually wrote a poem for for this episode, and and I believe Maha he wanted you to read it.
Yeah, he has to read it. And I think it's a really good poem.
Yeah, it's not long either. But I read it. I think it's really good. So it's called "Stuck in the Moment." Maha, may you do the honors?
Yes, sir. Words of Olin. Stuck in the moment. In the midst of laughter, I stand alone, a silent figure carved from stone. Voices blur like whispers through a dream, their joy a distant muted stream. I drift like smoke in a crowded room, a shadow fading into the gloom. Time feels frozen in this hollow place. I sweep past without a trace. Even as friends encircle, warm and bright, I vanish like mist in the morning light. A solitary moon in a busy sky, hidden by clouds that pass me by. I reach for words to pierce this haze, to shatter this silence, to end this daze. But here I am, trapped in a trance, a ghostly figure in a hollow dance, lost in a moment that won't be bend, a stranger among familiar friends.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Maha, for reading. Olin, thank you so much for writing that poem. He has another one for next week. Definitely excited for that. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Riley and Lew, thank you so much for coming on. I know this is like your first time on the show. We would love to have you again. And Maha, I think this is not your first time.
No, I've done a bunch.
Yeah.
You guys were really fun to talk to, though.
I definitely want to come back.
We were both thinking like on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Like, you guys were saying stuff before I was gonna say it. Like, I was gonna say that.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once again, thank you everyone for showing up. And yeah, so that's it for us today, guys, at the Men's Couch. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify, where you're listening to right now. We do episodes every Monday and Tuesday. And also don't forget to follow us on Instagram. I will upload more on that, I promise. I'm a busy guy. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. All right, I'll see y'all later.